This is a technical support video where we'll cover what we'd call a complete swap test on this V4G board. Now for this demonstration, we have a V4G board with the red Gecko 203 drivers. Some V4G models will have the black 202 Gecko drivers. However, the technique shown here will apply to all versions of this board and drivers. Along with the board, we have two motors and motor extension cables. For this demonstration, we have a suspected issue with the Y-axis. And to determine what this issue is, we are going to perform some swaps with the Z-axis, which is our known good and working axis. For your test, for your swap test, you may be using different axes. However, the techniques applied are the same. There are four primary components to each motor assembly: the motor extension cable, the motor driver, and the driver channel. Each of these components have some subcomponents, but we will focus on these four primary components for this test. The first step of our swap test is to power off the tool. Anytime we are disconnecting, moving, or working on electrical equipment, be sure that power is off to whatever is being working on. If we are ever working on the control board or moving components attached to the board where you could jostle or hit one of these capacitors, be sure to unplug the power source to de-energize these capacitors. For this step, shutting off the box or power to the box is sufficient, as we are only going to unplug the Y and Z motor from the board and swap. So we'll go ahead and do that, unplug the Y and Z motor cable from the board and swap them and plug them back in. Once plugged back in, we can power back up the tool and launch the ShopBot software as an administrator, as we need to make a setting change. The software now needs to know that this swap has been made on the board before we can test. Go to Values, Input/Driver Definitions, and swap the driver channels that were just swapped for this test. In this case, it will be driver channel 2 and 3 that we will swap for the Y and Z axis. Click OK, and we've now applied these changes. Now that the software recognizes the change made, the file or test that had the prior issue can now be run. In our case, the Y-axis was having an issue, so we'll run the test, and if the issue remains on the Y-axis, we know the issue is either with the motor or the motor cable, as we have them plugged into our known good Z-axis driver and driver channel. If the issue moved to the Z-axis, we would know the issue is on one of the two primary components at the board, the driver channel or driver. If the issue is with the motor or motor cable, the next test is generally just as easy. We have a choice of what to swap now. First, we will reverse the prior swap by swapping back in the software our Y and Z driver channels, then power off the tool and swap the cables back. Now we can either physically unplug and swap the motors on the tool, being sure to also swap the pinions if they are a different size or teeth count. We can unplug the motor and plug it directly into the board, or swap the extension cables between the two motors, which is probably the least viable option as the length of the cables will be different. Once the test is set up, power on and run the test file or cut and see what the behavior is. This will tell you now if the motor or motor cable is the issue. Now if the issue from the first test moved to the previously functioning axis, the Z in our case, then we know the issue is on the board or driver. So the easiest way to test this is to swap the drivers physically. We do this by powering off and unplugging power to the box, then sliding the driver out of its terminal blocks and swapping it. It is best now to also check the screw terminals and see how well they are screwed into place, and make sure they are not loose on any of the pins. Once swapped, power back on and test. If the issue changes channels, we know the driver is the issue. If it remains on the same channel, we know the board or the terminal blocks are the issue.